Ah, hey, this is, sorry, this is, yeah, we move. Hi, this is the Uzalo creative Crescent Sun, and this is another character in my character archetype series. So if you did not watch the breakdown for the reason for this video, it's in the first video where I speak about Nontle, and I kind of explain where I'm coming from. What I didn't kind of mention that I'm going to mention here is that, you know, when it comes to archetypes, we see them a lot in movies and soapies and series, and we don't realize that, you know what I mean, we kind of just like, oh, this woman is a dominant woman, like I'm thinking Meryl Streep in The Devil Wears Prada, you know, very dominant, very take control of the situation, you know, and we kind of don't realize it as people. But when it comes to archetypes, we can be drawn to archetypes that we kind of feel we would like to embody and kind of integrate into our lives. Or these archetypes can kind of show us aspects within ourselves that we struggle to accept and struggle to like, and can kind of be more than anything a teaching lesson for us and show us how we can grow and learn to accept ourselves and understand where those parts of ourselves are coming from. And this can all just be from a series, you know. There can be, instead of kind of just like only binging, there can be a sense of value established from watching a series or a movie and learning, you know, if we kind of just put the effort, if we want. Sometimes binging is also good, you know what I mean. But yeah, so this archetype is going to be a bit shocking because the archetype in tarot that I associated with this character is not what I thought I would link with, because I understood this character's archetype astrologically, and I'm like, okay, I see her astrologically, but I'm not seeing her 2 seconds. Actually, I'm gonna go get it. So I decided to change a bit, and I'm gonna give her 2 cards, you know, same as I did with Nontle, and I'll explain her story a bit as well. So Coco, who is a character from the series Uzalo, which plays on SABC 1, which is 191, and Coco is a lady of the night. That's the best way I can put it right now. And, you know, basically what her story is, this guy, this cop, approached her to pretend to be his girlfriend because he needed to collect money from work, and what's this thing called? He couldn't collect the money without a family member present, you know. So Han like negotiated her price, like she made sure she went for the highest, and obviously Mans had to like bring her down because he didn't have that money. And then she was very defiant, like she didn't do what he wanted her to do the way he wanted her to do it. She was kind of like very defiant, excuse me, and she threatened him a couple of times, you know. But when the time came for her to kind of step into the role that he needed her to step into, she morphed herself into this quiet, quiet, gentle partner of this police officer, and he said her name was Samke. Anyways, I digress. So as I'm like watching, right, so after that he kissed her, and he didn't realize that he had to like pay up to kiss her. So after, when she went to collect her money, he was like shocked because it went up by like 5k. Originally he was supposed to pay 2.5, now he needs to pay 5k, and he's shocked. He's like, what happened? She's like, yeah, a kiss, dude, is 5k. So one thing that I loved about her is she knew she may be hustling him, but she knew her value, she knew her worth, and she wasn't gonna compromise and settle for anything below or less, you know. And she made sure that he understood the message, and she almost threatened his reputation just because of that. And when I looked at her, I'm like, what archetype could you be associated with? And at first, I did not get a card from the major arcana. So I got Queen of Stones, right? And I'm like, what? I'm like, Queen of Stones. And I'm like, yeah, Queen of Stones is a hustler. And I'm like, what? I'm like, Queen of Stones, a hustler. And then I started to think about the elemental composition of the Queen of Stones, which is water and earth. And I'm like, when we look at water and earth, you know, I kind of think about it like this picture in my zodiac deck, right? And the water is behind the stone. So I'm kind of thinking that the water transports the stone if it's like very, very light, you know, even if it's like soil, and like when it's like muddy water, you know, and it's just traveling and going, and water pushes. When water needs to push, water pushes. And earth energy is about our physical realm. When you learn about tarot, that's one thing you learn about the earth energy, is that it's about our money, our resources, our health. And obviously when you get into it, you learn that there's much more to the cards than just that. But she kind of like exhibited that to me, this energy of water. She will push when she needs to push, and the reason that she's pushing is because she needs to acquire her physical resources for her livelihood. Now when you look at the Rider-Waite deck, which has the Queen of Pentacles, which is Queen of Stones in my deck, I don't know if I mentioned that, sorry. In the Rider-Waite, she is like holding this pentacle and looking down at it so lovingly, and that's why I'm like, this is such a nurturing archetype, you know what I mean? But sometimes that energy is internally directed, and you need to self-nurture because you need to learn to survive. We need water, you know, we need that push, that force, that kind of is unseen, but it's there. And the earth kind of like helps us to establish these physical boundaries, you know. I think this is a very different way to look at Queen of Pentacles, but I think if you had to ask any of the Pentacles to kind of stand up for you and help you get your money, Queen of Pentacles is the one that's gonna be like, hello, hi, this person needs their money, and she's gonna be like, we're not leaving until we get that money, you know. Yeah. What I changed is that I kind of thought, when I mentioned in the beginning that I said like I thought of her astrologically, I associated her with Aries. And in my zodiac deck, Aries, well, not only in this like deck, but in tarot in general, Aries is linked to the Emperor. I don't know if that's visible. So I was like, you know, if there is one card who is good at establishing boundaries, it's the Emperor. But that's kind of like more of a background card for this character. Like, I didn't see that in the beginning. But anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this second episode. And if you liked it, if you want to subscribe. And if you have any characters from shows, movies, series that you feel is Queen of Pentacles, like, please, like, just comment and like we can talk about it. Bye.